This is News 5 at 11.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Van Metry in for Tracy Carlis. It's one of the greatest mysteries in Northeast Ohio. A Garfield Heights teen gruesomely murdered, stabbed, and strangled in her own bedroom 60 years ago. And her case remains unsolved. But detectives say they are getting closer to possibly solving this case thanks to new interviews and advancements in DNA technology. News 5's Jeff Levkowicz talked with her sister, who hopes this will finally help them catch her sister's killer.
It was 60 years ago that Beverly Jarosz was killed inside the bedroom of this home. Her sister Carol hopes that the case will eventually be solved. Garfield Heights police and other groups dedicated to finding her killer believe that the truth is still out there.
Life for me has just begun. All my dreams.
December 28th is a day that Carol Bartos will never forget.
All my goals unreached. My life would have been in vain.
For 6 decades, Bartos and other loved ones hold an anniversary mass for her late sister, Beverly Jarosz, to celebrate her life that was taken too soon.
She was murdered 60 years ago today.
Beverly was stabbed more than 40 times in the bedroom of her Garfield Heights home. The knife used was never found, her killer never captured, and the case never solved. Carol was just 12 years old when the brutal murder happened.
Like, I was basically a little girl, starting to figure out who I was, right? And she just seemed like she was very sophisticated, and she was beautiful, and she was not a Beatles person or anything like that. She listened to jazz and classical music.
Carol says Saturday's Mass is not just for her sister, but for everyone that has helped her through the years.
Well, it's surprising that so many people do still remember her name. There's Facebook groups dedicated to her, and I still get people giving me tips and contacting me and telling me how much they remember her and how they wish this would be solved.
I was about 6 years old when this happened.
John Ferrato grew up in Garfield Heights, but really only got involved in the search for Beverly's killer 4 years ago. He and Scarlett Vinson became intrigued by the case. The two belong to a Facebook group dedicated to keeping Beverly's memory alive.
The minute I saw her face and I saw that beautiful school photo of her, I said, I'm going to devote every waking moment I have to her.
The two have looked at this case from every angle and have put out a 2-part documentary on YouTube called Beverly Jarosz, 60 Years, Faith and Forgiveness. They believe they know who killed Beverly, and Ferrato says he's told that to police.
Beverly's diary was missing, and it's been missing ever since. The police don't have it. It was just taken. So the person who did this took the diary, and most people think, well, they took it because maybe his name was in it. That's the most logical thing you think of right off the bat. But in my opinion, he took it as a trophy. I believe it's still around.
The two believe the killer was stalking the teen, always around her, and they believe he stalked her at her final resting place.
We didn't wake up one day and say, oh, this is the guy. You know, we're literally taking facts and we're following the breadcrumbs as anybody would logically. We're putting all the pieces together.
And so you can watch those videos and you can form your own opinion, but I'm looking for that smoking gun, and I'm going to look really hard for that. So is Scarlett.
We contacted Garfield Heights police to ask them about the case and the documentary's theory surrounding the identity of the killer. They told News 5 they're aggressively investigating the case and they hope to bring closure to Beverly's family and the community. They also have performed advanced MVAC DNA testing on key pieces of evidence, which has resulted in newly discovered DNA, interviews of witnesses, and surveillance. And they're asking anyone with any information about this case to contact their detectives. In Garfield Heights, I'm News 5's Jeff Levkowicz.